Hello, 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 and welcome back to my channel. So it is October 1st, and it is that time of the month again to go over some of my product empties from the previous month. And let me tell you, I've got a lot of products here. Throughout September, I've been really focused on trying to use up the last of a lot of my little products because I've had so much coming in from the 21 Days of Beauty sale. So let's go ahead and get right into this. I'm gonna try to go through some of these products really quickly. A couple of them I do think I'm gonna do their own little reviews on, but yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this. So the first thing that I used up was this L'Oreal Hydro Fresh toner. I started using this again after I used up my Tony Moly Rice toner, and I only had about half a bottle left of this. So I stopped using this because to me it just really didn't do anything, and I still don't think it really did anything. I didn't see any noticeable difference in my pores. The only thing I do like is the fact that it didn't dry out my skin, and that's probably because it's an alcohol-free one. So it was alright. It just doesn't do anything. Okay, and then I used up this Bosca Sake cleansing water. I had like a love-hate relationship with this. The pros of this was the fact that this took off my makeup better than pretty much anything I have ever tried before. Like my eyelash glue, my mascara, even the hardest lipstick I have, it took it off no problem. My main two complaints of this is, one, I used this up really fast. I used this up within a month. I started with a full bottle and I used this up in a month. And it's expensive. Then my biggest complaint, and the main reason why I probably won't repurchase this, is because this burns my eyes so bad. Like, no matter what, no matter how tightly I closed my eyes, no matter how gentle I was, it would get into my eyes and it would burn and sting. So yeah, that kind of made it not worth the product. Worth it. But yeah, this does take my makeup off really, really well. Alright, so I used up this full bottle of the St. Tropez Classic SelfTanner. I bought this at the beginning of summer, so I actually only had this for one summer. So I'm really happy that I used this up. And I got my money's worth out of it. I do really like this. I like this brand. I think it gives me a really nice natural looking tan, and I can build that up whether I want like a lighter tan or a darker tan, depending upon what shade I'm wanting to get to. It's really easy to use. I have some of the St. Tropez tanning mints. Just put it on. I don't find that I get any streaks or anything. So yeah, I do really like this. I will probably repurchase this next summer. I'm probably not going to be self-tanning during the winter though. So yeah, I enjoyed this. So then I used up this Briogeo Riscaro Milk Reparative Leave-In Conditioning Spray. This was like a sample size that I've gotten quite a long time ago that I've just been slowly using up. And the reason why I've been slowly using it up isn't because I just don't like it. I actually really love this product, but it is expensive. It is more expensive than any type of hair care that I'm willing to spend. So I've been not really wanting to use it up because I really like it. But fortunately for me, I have found some leave-in conditioners that I actually really like that are drugstore pricing. So I felt confident that I could use this up and not feel like I'm missing something. So use this up. I really like it. Probably won't repurchase it just because of how pricey it is, but it is a good product. I used up this sample size of the Living Proof Perfect Day Dry Shampoo. I like it well enough. I personally prefer the Batiste, if that's how you pronounce it. I think that's how you pronounce it. Dry shampoo over anything else. I have to be really careful with dry shampoo and not using too much of it. Otherwise, I can start breaking out with little sores on my head. So probably won't repurchase this. It's a little bit expensive and I don't feel like it did anything better than my cheaper Batiste dry shampoo. So good, not worth the price. All right, Clinique Prep Start Hydro Blue Moisturizer. I bought this probably a year and a half ago to 2 years ago. When I first bought this, I really, really loved it. I had gotten a sample size of it that I loved so much that I wanted to go and buy the full size of it. And then after a while, I kind of realized that this is kind of meant for very specific people. If you have a very minimal makeup routine, you might really like this because this is a moisturizer and a primer all in one. If you use this, I don't recommend using much else underneath your foundation. When I used this, I couldn't use any of my other products that I really love. I like a dewy finish. I couldn't put like my dewy, glowy primers on top of this or underneath this because then it would make my foundation break up and just be too heavy and thick on my skin. But on its own, it works really well. It's not a super hydrating moisturizer though, so if you have really, really dry skin, this might not be enough, which for me, it wasn't enough on a consistent basis because I do have super dry skin. But it doesn't work well with other products. So I won't be repurchasing this, but I am glad to have used it up. I've used up a sample size of the Clinique Liquid Facial Mild Soap. I really like this. I was surprised at how much it lathered. Probably won't repurchase it because I wasn't super impressed with it or purchase a full size, but it was good. I enjoyed trying it and I'm glad I got it used up. I'm so happy I've used up this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer Water Spray. I bought 2 of these. This is from their Flights of Fancy limited edition thing. I don't know if this is limited edition. I haven't checked online, but I like the actual product in here quite a bit. I hate the nozzle. This nozzle sucks, which stopped me from using it for quite a while. So I actually, after this is another product I used up, this Rainforest of the Sea. This was a sample size. I put it on here because I actually took the little sprayer thing that this was in and put this product in after I used this up. So I like the product a lot. I hate the bottle. So if you can, this is cheap enough that I would actually be willing to purchase this. I have another bottle of it. Purchase this again if I could and just put it in a different bottle. This was really good. I didn't find it worth the price though. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist. It smells nice, but that's pretty much all I could tell. It didn't really make a difference in my skin or my makeup application or longevity. All right, 2 things from Sol de Janeiro. I'm happy I used up one of my Brazilian Bum Bum or Boom Boom creams. This is the smaller size of them. I bought a pack of 3 over the summer and this was one of them. So use these up. I still have a couple more left. And this is something that I will probably repurchase when I run out. I love this lotion so much. And then this is the Brazilian Foreplay shower gel cream. This is the 2nd bottle that I've owned of this. Right now I'm trying out a Philosophy shower gel that I had already bought. But once I'm done with that, I highly believe that I will repurchase this again because I really do love this body wash. And I've never gotten tired of this scent so far. So I can see myself repurchasing this in the future. All right, this Tommy Girl perfume. I was so happy that I used this up. I've had this for about 3 years now. This used to be my Holy Grail perfume. I've actually owned 2 previous bottles of this that I've used up before. But over time, I just kind of got tired of the scent and moved on to other scents. So this was traveling around with me about halfway full for about 3 years. And at the beginning of the month, I kind of noticed that the liquid inside was starting to turn yellow and I knew that it was time to get rid of it, but it still smelled really good. So I decided that I just wanted to try to use it up. And a couple of days ago, it made its final spray. There's just a little bit, a tiny bit in the bottom, but nothing comes out when I spray it, and I cannot for the life of me twist the cap off, so it's done. Okay, quite a bit of makeup. Oh, another two of my Holy Grail Neutrogena cleansing wipes, makeup remover wipes. I love these. I have a stash of them in my closet. I will continue to repurchase them, I'm positive. Okay, so I used up this L'Oreal Visible Lift Radiance Booster Primer. I've had this for about a year. For a long time I didn't think I liked this just because I hadn't used this a lot. I do actually really like this, and probably not enough to repurchase myself because I do have other primers that I like better, but this is a really good primer. This has just a very, very light radiance to it, so it's not like dewy, glowy all over underneath your foundation. But if you just like a little bit of brightening, this is really nice. And then it has just like almost a silicone-y texture to it a little bit, to the lotion part of it. So it has almost a slight blurring effect to your pores, which is really nice. I did really like this. It took me a while to realize that I liked it just because I hadn't used it enough, but once I started using it, I was enjoying it, and I'm glad I used this up and I got my money's worth. All right, two foundations. I used up my Milani Conceal and Perfect in the shade Creamy Vanilla. This shade is way too dark for me because not only is the shade itself a little bit too dark, but then it oxidizes like 2 shades darker. But with my SelfTanner, I kind of like combined this and my SelfTanner together. I've been trying to use up my SelfTanner and use this because when I put on my SelfTanner, if I put on 2 layers, I can make this shade work. But I'm glad I used this up. I've had this for probably 2 years, so it was time to get rid of it one way or another, but I used it up. I do like this formula. I do have another bottle of it in a shade that fits me much better now that they came out with a bigger shade range. So yeah, good foundation, just really wrong shade, and I'm happy that I used this up. And then I used the Organic Wear Physicians Formula Tinted Moisturizer SPF 40. I didn't pick this up that long ago. I picked this up at, what was it? TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something, or Burlington Coat Factory. I picked this up at Burlington Coat Factory for a very highly discounted price, and probably part of that is because it has SPF in it and it expires in November of this year. So because of that, I wanted to make certain that I used this up before the expiration. But this was really nice. I do like this. It was too dark for me. It's too dark for me without SelfTanner on, which is why I'm glad that my SelfTanner extended long enough for me to get this used up. All right, then I've got the couple of mascaras here. So I've got the Super Sizer from CoverGirl. I didn't really like this because it's got these plastic wands. I'm not a big fan of that, so I will not repurchase this. This Essence Lashes of the Day I did really like. It is a little bit thicker formula, so I would run it underneath the sink, like with hot water running, to help soften that up. But I do like the wand. I do think it made my lashes look really nice and volumized. It did make them a little bit clumpy though. And then of course my NYX Worth the Hype mascara, which is my Holy Grail mascara. It does the best job at lengthening, volumizing, and separating my lashes so I don't have clumpy lashes. I have of course repurchased this already. I do love it. And yeah. And then I used up this Too Faced Better Than Sex trial size mascara. It didn't take very long for this to dry out from the time that I opened it, so I only got a couple uses out of it. I used to really love this mascara. It used to be my Holy Grail, and then Lash Paradise came out, and then I discovered NYX, and then, yeah. But I don't feel like this mascara is worth the price. Okay. 3 concealers. All of these, okay, so with the exception of this one I got not that long ago, but it's probably one of my favorite not mascaras, concealers now. So it doesn't surprise me that I went through it really quickly. It's not a very big container either. It only has 0.14 ounces. So this is that Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, if you don't know that, in the shade C3. I have repurchased this already in a lighter shade. This is just a little bit too dark for me now that I'm not putting on SelfTanner anymore. And then I used the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer. I had the shade Light Neutral. This was a little bit too dark, well, not a little bit, way too dark for me because I bought this last summer when I was significantly darker than I was this summer. I love this concealer to a point. This is the only concealer that I really like to use as a eyeshadow primer on its own. And I don't find that it's too drying under my eyes, but it is very thick, so I can't use it with all of my foundations, only my very high coverage foundations. I have repurchased this, but only because there was a sale at Ulta. So instead of $27, it was $13. If it wasn't on sale, I would not have repurchased it anytime soon. And then I used up this Master Conceal. I've had this for a long time, so I've been working on it for a long time, and I'm finally done with it. This is an okay concealer, but this is the lightest shade in 10 Fair, and it's very warm toned and still a little bit too dark for me, even with SelfTanner on, as a concealer, not a foundation. As a concealer, because I like to go lighter under here, so I will probably not be repurchasing this product. Okay, I finally used up this Maybelline New York Eye Studio. I have had this eyeliner for longer than I'd like to admit, but look at that, it's not completely empty, but it is time for it to go. I've been having problems making it work. It's starting to get too thick, but I probably will not repurchase this because now that I found my NYX Epic Ink Liner, I'm not reaching for this enough. This was a good gel liner though. It lasted way longer than I should have kept it for. It is very black. It is very easy to work with. The only thing with it is that I definitely recommend setting it with a black powder on top. Otherwise it will smear a little bit throughout the day, at least on my lids. Then I use this little sample size of the Coverfix Custom Enhancer Drops in Moonlight. For a long time I didn't like this until I started mixing it in with my foundation. Once I started mixing it in with my foundation and using it that way, I actually really enjoyed this. Probably not enough to buy the full size because I have a Makeup Revolution one that is pretty much identical to this, and it's like a fourth of the price. So I probably would not purchase this brand, but I did really like this product. And then I finally used up an eyeshadow primer again. I used up my Milani eyeshadow primer. I do really like this eyeshadow primer. It works really well. I don't love it enough to repurchase just because so my other eyeshadow primers that I have are the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I love that one. I've used that up before, and the only reason why I haven't been using it is because I've been trying to use this up so I can use it without guilt. But I do like it. If you're looking for a budget eye primer, this is a good buy. So yeah, there's that one. And then I have two lip products. I have one of my Bare Minerals minis in the shade Swag. I love Bare Minerals lipsticks. They smell like hot cocoa to me. And this is like, probably get a little bit off. This is a really pretty, like pinky mauvey nude. Just looks really pretty. I could use it with a lot of different lip looks and stuff, with a different eye looks. There we go. and it's very comfortable. It doesn't dry down completely, so I don't get like dryness on my lips. It can transfer very easy though, because it doesn't dry down. And then I use this Rainforest of the Sea like lip balm type thing in a little sample. I've had this for forever. I got it in one of those BoxyCharm or Ipsy bags that I used to subscribe to, and I've had another one of these that I've gotten in them after I got this one, which I gave away because I didn't want another one of these. I will not repurchase this. This is nice, but I feel like the packaging is a little cheap for the price, and I felt it was greasy. I didn't feel like it was hydrating, so I'm glad to be done with it. Will not repurchase. The Bare Minerals one, however, I probably would repurchase in the full size if they were ever to go on sale. I do really like their lip products. I have a couple more of their smaller ones from their little lip kits. So there, that is it. That is all of my empties for the month. Keep an eye out to see if I do any of a full review of any of these products. If you would like to see a full review of any of these products, leave it in the comments down below and I will happily do a video of them. And yeah, this video is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but if you stuck around for this long, thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye!